Title: The Secrets of Loch Morloch. The small village of Glencrag lay nestled on the edge of Loch Morloch. It was a tranquil place, known for annual sheep festivals and the friendly banter of its locals. But lurking beneath the surface of the lake's deep, dark waters was a secret that would forever change their peaceful existence. 15-year-old Ellie Mackenzie was no stranger to the tales of the Loch Ness Monster, or more accurately, the so-called Morloch Beast. Her grandmother often spoke of it, an ancient creature with a long neck and gleaming dark scales, hidden in the watery depths. Most dismissed it as mere folklore, but Ellie felt an odd connection to the stories. They sparked her imagination and drew her to the lake more than anything else. On one particularly overcast afternoon, driven by an adventurous spirit and a longing for the thrill of the unknown, Ellie decided to explore the woods bordering the lake. Her best friend, Jamie, who shared her fascination with the myth, agreed to accompany her. Armed with a camera, the pair set off, confident they would capture something extraordinary. The forest was thick with trees that cast long shadows, creating a strange aesthetic that mixed beauty with eeriness. As they ventured deeper, the chatter between them slowly faded, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the occasional call of a distant bird. They were on the edge of the unnerving, always teetering but never falling over. At the lake's edge, the sun broke through the clouds momentarily, illuminating the quivering surface of the water. "What do you think we'll find?" Jamie asked, scanning the rippling expanse. "Just a little magic, I hope," Ellie grinned, pulling out her camera. "Or maybe a glimpse of the beast itself." They sat for hours, throwing pebbles into the water, sharing ghost stories, and soaking in the atmosphere. But as the sun began to dip beneath the horizon, painting the sky in shades of lilac and gold, the feeling of excitement shifted into something unsettling. Suddenly, the water that had been so still began to churn. "Did you see that?" Jamie exclaimed, pointing. Ellie focused her lens, heart racing. She caught a glimpse of something massive slicing through the water, a dark, undulating shape. "Forget the camera, let's get closer," Ellie said, adrenaline surging. They approached the water's edge as the shape submerged, creating ripples that spread wider and wider. "What if it's really real?" Jamie whispered, wide-eyed. Ellie felt a mix of dread and thrill. This was what she had always wanted, wasn't it? As the lake settled back into stillness, a strange silence enveloped the area. The typical sounds of nature faded, replaced by an ominous stillness. The light dimmed, and shadows lengthened around them. "Maybe we should head back?" Ellie suggested, unease creeping into her voice. Before they could turn, a low rumble echoed beneath the water. They froze, watching as the surface began to splinter with ripples once again. Suddenly, an enormous head broke through, the dark, serpentine neck arching up, revealing glistening scales that shimmered under what little light remained. Ellie's breath caught in her throat. This wasn't just a story, it was real. Beside her, Jamie gasped, "It's beautiful, but we need to run." But Ellie was rooted to the spot, her fascination paralyzed by fear. The creature's enormous eyes locked onto hers, deep pools of inscrutable wisdom and ancient menace. It wasn't just a beast, it was something more profound, something that struck at the very core of humanity's lost connection with nature. "What do you want from us?" Ellie found her voice, trembling but defiant. The creature submerged slowly, stirring the water as if it understood her question. When it reappeared, it let out a haunting, mournful cry that echoed across the lake, reverberating in their chests. The sound was both beautiful and terrifying, a reminder of lost realms and secrets long forgotten. In that moment, Ellie felt something shift within her. She understood. This was not just a monster, it was a guardian of the old world, a being that had existed long before modern mankind took hold. But it also seemed to warn them, perhaps there were things man was not meant to uncover. As if sensing her thoughts, the creature leaned closer, and Ellie saw a glimmer in its enormous eye, an invitation, or perhaps a challenge. But before she could grasp what it meant, it vanished into the depths, leaving but a ripple in the water and a palpable tension lingering in the air. With her heart racing, Ellie turned to Jamie, who was already running back along the shoreline. "Come on, let's get out of here." They darted through the trees, crashing through underbrush, not daring to look back. Gasping for breath, they finally reached the safety of the village, the comforting lights flickering in the distance. Neither spoke of what had happened that night, but both knew they would never be the same. The loch held secrets that extended far beyond their understanding, ancient mysteries captured beneath its dark waters. As they lay in their beds that night, Ellie recalled the creature's haunting cry. Understanding this, some stories were meant to stay untold. Some creatures were meant to remain undiscovered. The legend of the Loch Morloch would live on, but now it was forever etched in her mind, a fierce reminder that magic isn't just enchanting. It can also be terrifying.